But my brother fell asleep in his car somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but he was going to be my driver. Yeah, so
he's
so I lost my brother, and then so I just drove it solo, hammered up here, swapped the bike on the side of the road, and rode up to the TT. What are we talking?
I'm going to talk to you, Stefan.
Okay, let's talk.
Oh, so first of all, give me your name, your team, and what category.
The name is Stefen Creason.
Right into the mic.
Yeah, right in the mic.
There you go.
It's category 3, data-driven athlete.
Okay, so all weekend.
And I've told USA Cycling. I've emailed one to go and Bike Reg. I've emailed them. I've filled out the paperwork, updated the team. They still get it wrong.
Okay, well, you're forgiven then.
I don't know how much more I got to do for these guys. It's USA Cycling. It takes forever.
Let me ask you this. So how many times have you done the Chico Stage Race?
It's the first time.
What do you think about it?
It's a great weekend. It's filled with beers because it's sponsored by Sierra Nevada, so that's good. That's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blast. That Thunder Hill course was awesome, and the gravel at the road race is epic.
Now you got third, is that correct, in the Thunder Hill?
Correct.
Okay, so well done there. And then
before or after your
John's asking a question. What was the question? Before or after what?
I just wanted to know if it was
Here, just a second.
Oh, was this before or after the trip back to Sacramento for the what was that, the Metal Mariachi Band?
Yeah, so give us a breakdown. We mentioned that on the show earlier. So you did the Thunder Hill on Friday.
Yep.
First, and then would you do that night? And then would you do the night after the Paskenta? I'm more interested in that than the actual race.
Well, so after Thunder Hill, and we came back. We
came back where?
We came back to Chico.
Okay.
We pre-rode. I tried clamp-on bars for the first time. So I pre-rode the TT course, and it felt good in that position. So I was like pretty stoked that the bars, everything felt stable. And then from there, we went to Sierra Nevada Brewery. And then from there, we went to downtown Chico and checked out all the bars.
So what time did you get done?
Let's see.
You might be leading on GC on partying.
That night, I knew we had 90 miles, so I kept it conservative.
Reasonable.
Yeah. So I was probably back to the house by like midnight on Friday night. But that then led into
you're not
barely making it to the road race.
And you're not like 21. You're not like some like young college kid. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 32.
And you're okay, perfect. You do look like you're 21 though. So then you come next day out to do Paskenta.
Correct.
And how did that go for you?
Pretty frantic because I had to undo the TT setup in the van while driving. My buddy Bill, because first we followed Google, and so we got to the wrong location, and then we just had to haul butt. No, we went to.
This is from Chico out to Paskenta.
Yeah, Chico to Paskenta. We ended up in. If you just Google Paskenta, it takes you somewhere not where the road race is.
Of course.
Yeah, so don't do that. So then but luckily my buddy Bill, he wrote down the directions.
Wait, how do you miss Paskenta? Because it's a post office.
John says, "How do you miss Paskenta?" It's a post office and a gas. I don't know. He uses it's not Google. It's like Google or something like that. It's like the Ukrainian version of Google.
That's right. It's where I get my carbon wheels from. Same website. So we got back on the road and hauled butt and got barely to the race on time. So I was taking off TT bars and turning my seat around and getting ready. And no, I wasn't driving. I was just in the back prepping.
I think of this like Dumb and Dumber, where they're in the back of an open van. You're just sliding around, hot dogs everywhere, mutts and whatever. Is that mutts and cuts? Is that what it was?
It was similar to mutts and cuts. So we get to the road race.
Hang on. We got a helicopter life flight.
Get in the chopper. So.
All right,
and then I had to still change out my number because the whole number fiasco.
Yes.
So I get my number, sign in, make it in time. Had about 5 minutes to spare So I was golden.
And would we asked this of Curt and Chris and myself last night. What did you do for clothing layering? Did you did you feel like you did a good job with, did you have arm warmers, knee warmers, vest? What'd you do? It was a little cold.
Yeah, I went because I knew it was gonna be longer than Thunder Hill, so I went less layers. Just because I thought we'd warm up.
And did it work out fine for you?
It did. Yeah, I just did single base layer, arm warmers, knee warmers.
How'd the road race go for you then?
It went well. First lap, one of the Pinvelo guys, once he hit gravel, he just laid it down. So
Yikes.
I tried to stay with that lead group that was chasing. We get back on asphalt, and we closed up, caught him again, and then the whole group caught up as well. So I thought, well, this is probably what's going to happen on the second lap too. Same thing will probably happen, and it pretty much did. So I knew going in, I just going to have to be top 10, hitting the rough patches, and then stay with that all the way to the gravel. So that's what I did, and then I was probably sitting. Eventually, I got into the lead on the gravel, but I backed it off and let guys come around. So I was still like top 5 lead group, but I didn't want to be behind anybody, and also just I didn't want to go too hard, but.
So you came out of the gravel like where?
I came out of the gravel probably 5th.
Okay, and then did you all come into the finish for a sprint finish?
So then at that point there was two lead groups going with and 2 guys off the front separated. So and then the first lead group, we all stayed together up the hill, and then I think we got to about 2K to go. The second group caught us, that was behind us, and then we all were just kind of rotating. We caught the second guy that was out front, but we were never able to catch the lead guy that just kept it. He kept it from pretty much the beginning of the gravel. That guy just laid it down.
Wow, that's impressive. So then you had to. When did you swap your time trial bike back, or your bike back into a time trial bike? Was that night? Or?
I did it this morning.
This morning, okay.
I did it this morning.
Then last night, let's screw with this bike racing stuff. What'd you do last night?
So last night went to Harlow's nightclub.
So back to Sacramento.
Yeah, back to Sacramento. Went to Harlow's nightclub for the Metalachi show. It's a heavy metal mariachi band.
Of course.
New epic. So you need to see this group if you haven't. So highly recommend it.
Did they wear the tight white pants?
Tight white pants.
Nice.
Sombreros. They wear leather. Most of them have leather pants, like zebra. I mean, you're talking like 80s hairband with mariachi and that like Mexican wrestling.
Would they come over to your table?
What is that called? That Mexican wrestling stuff. There you go, Nacho Libre.
Did they come over and while you're like wherever you're at and just like get right in your face and play until you gave them a tip? Because that's usually what happens to me with the mariachi band.
No. These guys stay on stage.
Oh, well then it's not legit.
No, I'd prefer them to stay on stage.
Well, of course, I prefer the mariachi band to stay away too.
They stayed on stage,
but
they killed it. So highly recommend that. Was able to close out the show.
What time?
They probably 1 o'clock.
Okay, and then
I was home by 2. So I was I was preparing. I was making sure I was ready.
So then on the drive up, did your friend drive you again and you swapped your bike back?
No.
What time did you leave?
So I was supposed to have my brother. He was going to drive me up while I changed my bike back to a TT bike this morning. But my brother fell asleep in his car somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but he was going to be my driver. Yeah, so
he's
so I lost my brother, and then so I just drove it solo, hammered up here, swapped the bike on the side of the road, and rode up to the TT.
And then so you did a TT. Did it? Was it? I saw it was.
It was. I didn't puke.
Okay.
So that's a win.
Okay. Well, yeah. And then the crit. How'd the crit go for you? I saw it like top 10, 15. What was it?
14th in the crit.
14th. Good
and
job.
then I think that also 14th in GC.
All right.
So
what did you think of the?
It wasn't 13th. That would have been really lucky because it was St. Patrick's Day and everything.
Well,
but
yesterday.
Right. So I got a little unlucky on that part.
So you're gonna come back to the Chico Stage Race?
Definitely. I will be back here as a 2 next year, and we'll take it much more serious. I don't think I'll be out past. I'm gonna like make it 11 next year. 11. Gonna cut it off at 11.
Go to a show in Chico or Willows, as John Novikov did. All right, I appreciate it, and good racing this week.
Is there any truth to the rumor that Chico last night wasn't wild enough for you, and that's why you had to go back to Sacramento to get your party on?
Well, I don't know if the college girls are on spring break yet, so it was
St. Patrick's Day. It was a little off the hook when we were downtown.
But after Friday night, I saw what they had, and I needed more, so I headed back to Sacramento.
You sure you're going to be invited back to Chico?
I hope so.
All right, thanks.